Bobby Charlton, well done, Manchester United.
It's a Sheringham, and Solskjaer.
Hello, welcome to United Hour, your official RedCafe.net podcast for all things Manchester United. My name's Imran.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Ashwin.
And we are coming to you immediately after the West Ham game that finished 1-0 after extra time with a Scott McTominay goal. In this one, we're going to cover West Ham, the myriad of talking points that this enthralling game provided, and then we'll get into the Everton game as well, as we didn't record on the weekend for a variety of reasons, mainly because we're all depressed. So yeah, a good win. A win at Old Trafford in the Cup is, I guess, as much as you can ask for. We're through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, is it? I've honestly lost track of rounds. Yeah, quarterfinals. Yeah, quarterfinals of the FA Cup. The draws will be after this pod, so we don't know who we've got. Nick, thoughts on the game? Happy to be through, I assume?
Yeah, look, I'm happy to be through. You know, we've had this talking points for weeks and weeks about should we focus on the league, should we focus on the cup, and did a kind of poll on Twitter earlier today, and 50% of fans were saying, yeah, look, change half the team and hopefully it's still good enough to get through, and that's more or less what's happened. You know, the performance itself was kind of disappointing. I thought we were actually pretty decent first half. And I thought the goal was coming because they were making blocks. There was like 3 or 4 blocks. You know, we weren't really making the goalie work, but then he did make a couple of saves later in the game. Second half, though, kind of fizzled out a bit. West Ham came out, played a bit more. I feel like I've said that in a few games lately, that we played well first half, didn't get the goal, and then second half, the other team kind of came back at us. And, you know, then it just started heading towards 0-0, and by about 70th minute, I was just Googling online to see, is there extra time in FA Cup, or are we going straight to penalties or what? Because you knew that's the way it was going. And then, yeah, as soon as I found out there's going to be another half hour, I was like, oh my God, somebody score.
Ashwin, what did you make of our performance in general? How do you feel about going through to the next round of the FA Cup? Are you thrilled at the prospect of winning the FA Cup this year? Come on. Are you up for the cup?
Yeah, this is, it's the biggest prize on offer for us. I mean, I don't know what you can really take out of that match. It was pretty boring. I think that's the most boring match I've watched this entire season.
Oh, I don't know.
We were 0-0 with Chelsea.
Yeah, there's some contenders for that.
Quite a few contenders for that.
No, this was like, honestly, I wasn't even paying attention for parts of the second half. Like, I was watching, but I couldn't tell you what happened.
It's one of those games, especially I find this with crowds, with no crowds. It's like you'll be watching 5 minutes of football, and then you just won't remember anything that just happened in the last 5 minutes. Like
that's exactly what happened.
It's gone in, but then I don't know where it's gone.
It's like when you're reading. You ever do that when you're reading a book, and then you all of a sudden you're like, I don't even know what I just read. That's what happened during this match. I was watching, and then I realized that I had no idea what I had just watched for the past 5 minutes, and it was terrible. And I thought, okay, when Bruno came on, I was like, okay, now like we'll probably, we'll be a lot sharper, we'll get more chances. And even he was terrible, I thought, when he came on today, or at least wasteful. He got into good positions, then just couldn't get anything right.
He's actually not been that great for a while now. He was carrying us for a lot of time. But he's kind of positive in a way because, a lot of people said if Bruno doesn't play well, we don't win matches. He's just kind of been okayish for like a month or so.
I have news for you, Nick. We haven't been winning matches the last couple of years.
We'll get on to that, I guess. Yeah, I mean, that is why all of a sudden the FA Cup does feel a bit more important because now, like, are we still in the title race? I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. We'll get to the Everton game after this one, but now I feel like the cups have taken on a bit more of a priority than they maybe wouldn't have last week. With the way our results have gone and how City are looking, I just feel like, yeah, maybe the FA Cup is the one thing we should maybe be concentrating on. And I mean, it wasn't a weakened side. I don't know. I feel like we have, as soon as Bruno's out of the side, you think, oh, it's a weakened side, but it wasn't really. We had our first choice attack, Cavani notwithstanding, and it was a strong lineup. First choice defence with Telles in there.
Yeah, there was 4 or 5 changes. It wasn't the first. I mean, West Ham were actually pretty much full strength So, to win at the end is semi-decent at least.
I mean, they have been in really good form. I think they had won 7 of their last 9 matches coming into today. So
yeah,
they've been in really good form. But I mean, I've been really critical of Tellez. I think he's been pretty poor every time he's played, other than today. But he was really good today, I thought. Not as good as Shaw. I think you could obviously tell the difference when Shaw came in. But especially in the first half, I thought Tellez was sharp. He had a really good recovery, I think, too, in the first half, where it might have been Bowen, I thought, was about to get in behind us. And Tellez actually showed way more pace than I thought he had and snuffed it out. So, yeah, I mean, I thought he had a really good performance. And, that's good because, obviously, as good as Shaw has been, we know he's somebody you have to really manage through a season. So if Tellez can get more comfortable and hopefully, him and Rashford and Martial, they can develop some kind of rapport on the left. That'll be really good for us.
Yeah, Tellez is a backup left back, so you only really need him to be as good as you need your backup left back to be. And I thought, I agree. I thought it was good. We don't need him to set the world on fire really, because we have Luke Shaw, who is probably the best left back in the country at the moment. So yeah, if Tellez keeps coming in and playing like that, there's no complaints from anyone, I don't think. But I think where people may have more of an issue and more to talk about is with Van der Beek, who once again did his cup start and really didn't do much of anything. It's a weird one with him. I put in our chat that I feel like he's our Thiago this season, in that maybe he's the wrong player for the wrong club kind of thing. Nick, what did you make of Van der Beek today?
Yeah, he was definitely disappointing, just not making much of an impact in general. And it's been a few matches now that it's been like that for him. It's a bit of a shame because, in his first couple of games he had for us, early in the season, I remember he came on, scored a goal. I think there was that Leipzig game he started, did well. And then more lately, he's tended just to kind of disappear a little bit into games, always taking the safe option. Not really trying to make anything happen enough, and I don't know, just not really putting his stamp on the game at all. We've seen him play kind of number 8 a couple of times. Now he's played number 10 a couple of times, and in these last 2 performances, he's not done that much at all in that position, and especially not anywhere near what Bruno's doing. We know he's good on the ball. He's got the skills. I think probably he is actually more suited to playing number 8 for us in our system.
I'd agree, yeah.
And I think that's where he may play. Now with Pogba injured, maybe he will get a chance to play there. But, he's down in the pecking order because McTominay, Fred, we'll see where we go from there. But yeah, Pogba's going to be out for a month or so he might have a bit more chance to come and play number 8. And for me, I think the times I've seen him, I think he seems more suited to play there, and he's not a number 10.
No, Ashwin, how much? I think a lot of people saying, it's going to be hard for him. Especially Jermaine Genius on commentary was saying hard for him to not have a run of games and just come in and expect a lot of him in these one-off games. And then plus you're putting him with our quote-unquote second string midfield, although arguably Fred isn't that. Is that an excuse? Is that something we should cut him some slack for?
No, I think that it is an excuse. It's one thing if he's trying different things and they're not coming off, but he had multiple he's not taking any chances. And whatever you want to say about Ole, I don't think that he's the type of manager where he would punish Van de Beek for taking risks in his play. Even if they don't come off, I mean, we routinely, that's Bruno's entire thing, right? Is that he just constantly takes risks, and Ole encourages it because he knows that ultimately if 1 or 2 of those come off, you're probably going to score a goal. And obviously, I think Genius did make the right point that he's a different type of player to Bruno. So I don't expect him to come in and, drop deep and play these, raking through balls and crossfield passes. And that's not his game. But when he's in forward positions, he has to do more than just play nice sideways passes or, give the ball right back where it came from. He's just not, he's not trying to do anything for himself, it feels like. And, there was one instance today in the second half where he had the ball, I think, inside the box off to the left, and he could have turned and tried to make a cross to the far post or even had a shot, and he instead just played a ball out to, I think it might have been Tellez or Rashford, I'm not sure. But it just wasn't, I just expect, I think when you're an attacking player at United, you have to be willing to take some risk in how you play. And like Martial, he played terrible today, and he's been out of form this entire year. But I don't think generally speaking, when I've watched him, I don't think that the issue is he's not trying to do anything. It's just that whatever he's doing is not coming off. When I watch Van de Beek, I don't even know if it feels like he's not even trying to create for himself or for anybody else. And that's a bigger problem because it comes across as almost like, we've seen plenty of players come to United and not be able to handle the fact that you're at United, right? There's a different pressure to step up. And I mean, it's early. I do think that writing him off right now would be stupid. I'm not ready to call him a flop or something like that. But yeah, he needs to do better for sure, even though there are kind of like, it is understandable why maybe he's not coming in immediately and playing amazing, right? He hasn't gotten a ton of chances and it's been hit or miss, but he needs to do more for sure.
Yeah, it's difficult because it's hard to know whether this is the kind of player he is. He likes to keep it nice and simple, but then he's playing so within himself. It's like he doesn't want to upset anyone at all. Not to talk about Spurs or anything, but there was that Spurs documentary where Jose Mourinho said these players need to act like, I think it was the C word, but I'm just going to say dicks. And I feel like Van de Beek really could just do with being a bit of a dick on the pitch. Like, he just seems super nice. I said in our chat that if you were going to pick a team to have a fight, you'd probably be the last guy you'd pick on the playground.
No, yeah, I know what you're saying there, totally. I mean, one thing I do wonder, though, is like, do you think he's given the same instructions as Bruno is? Because if he is, he's obviously failing completely.
No,
but
I don't think so.
He seems to be like, he's a bit more like part of the midfield. It almost looks like we're like more 4-3-3 than like kind of 4-2-3-1. I mean, and if you look at like average position charts as well, he's a much deeper than Bruno ever is. He's closer to kind of Fred and Matic, whereas Bruno is way, way forward. So he's like pretty much playing like a different position. So, you will say like he looks like from the way it is that he's number 10, but he's playing way deeper than him. But I don't know, maybe he's just having to come deep to try and get involved. But, he's also like, he's only had like 45 touches. Bruno had 45 touches. He only came on in the 75th minute.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's what? Another half an hour on top of that. So it's quite a lot, and Bruno does get involved, I guess. But it is,
but it's like 75 minutes versus, 55 minutes?
Yeah.
And same amount of touches in supposedly the same position. But I think actually, yeah, as I say, they're not playing the same position. And whether it's because Van de Beek is not doing what Ole wants him to, or whether he's under different instructions, I don't know. But they're definitely... you look at average position charts and he's way, way deeper than Bruno ever is.
Yeah. So I guess to round that conversation off, the question is, who do you pick first in the United squad for your fight?
Who's Cavani? He's my first pick.
Ashwin?
Probably McTominay.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking Cavani too, because, that South American guile as well. He'll just poke you in the eye as well as just getting laid in there. So yeah, anyway, the game went on. I'd like to think, we know how Nick likes to make notes. So I assume on your notes, Nick, you just said football happened, I guess. Would be the note.
Did not write much for this one. But anyway, like as I said, I knew you were hosting. It was like the first time in a long time that I was comfortable that I wasn't going to be the host of the show. So I was like comfortable that I didn't need to do much, and I was going to leave all that professional stuff to you today, you see.
Well, I only take the easy games like this one. So yeah, anyway, stuff happened. Rashford had a chance that he probably should have done better with. Fabianski made 2 decent saves, as we said. And then we finally got a goal from our new resident goal machine, Scott McTominay, who I think it was the last pod, or the pod before, I can't remember, I said that Scott McTominay actually has a very underrated shot on him, and he's probably one of our best strikers of the ball in the team, and he's once again proved it with a fantastic first-time finish from a great layoff from Rashford. Scott McTominay, Nick, really getting in amongst the goals and pushing forward a lot. Is that what you want to see more from him? Like, we kind of been thinking of him as this defensive midfielder, but he's really turning into a box-to-box midfielder now.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, look, I totally agree with it. Yeah, and I've said it myself. His shooting is one of his very underrated attributes. Whenever he's around there, I think, yeah, I said it as well a couple of weeks ago, that his shooting is better than Paul Pogba. If Pogba could actually shoot as well as McTominay, then you're talking about Ballon d'Or kind of winner. It's actually one of his weaknesses. Even though, yeah, Pogba has scored a couple of great goals recently, generally his shooting is not that great. He kind of scores worldies or just misses the target completely, whereas McTominay has this great, low hard shot that hits the target. And yeah, I think he did play striker apparently, didn't he, when he was younger?
He did, yeah.
So yeah, maybe it was kind of like trained into him at that time. And yeah, you want to see him getting there right in and around the box, and those kind of, and they've been vital goals as well for us time and time again. They're not just like the extra one now and again.
I go back to the game against Leeds. I think it was his second goal, which he took on the spin. It's probably one of the best finishes of the season for us, like in terms of like a pure striker's finish. I thought that was a class finish, and this was another one. Really quick, take it quickly. Fabianski has no chance to set himself or anything, just from the speed of the shot. Ashwin says something nice about McTominay, so Jamie's happy.
I think that he was a striker in the youth level, right?
Are you listening to us, Ashwin, in this pod?
Yes, I am. No, but I just think that like when it's weird how Ole has used him, because he's always kind of, initially last year, wasn't he talking about how he kind of sees him as an understudy to Matic?
Yeah.
And I just have never, I don't think he looks good when he has to play that kind of deep lying playmaking role. Like it's not suited to him. He's athletic and he's big and he's strong. So when he has the license to get forward and play that box to box role, and I think that maybe Ole has realized this season. He's a real threat, and he like Nick said, he hits the ball the way he strikes it is very clean. He always seems to make very good contact on it, and one thing I like is that he doesn't seem so focused on I have to hit it right in the corner. I think like he has the right idea of just get it on target. And quite frankly, I think I wish a lot more of our players had that mentality closer to goal that he has. The goal today was great. I thought just the timing of his run was really good. And the finish, first time running full speed, that was very good. And we've seen that already this year, right? Multiple matches. Like the goal against Leeds was fantastic. He had a goal against
Sheffield United.
Yeah, that was great. He seems to really, when he gets into that box and he gets into shooting positions, I really, I feel like he works the keeper way more than our very own. And then especially in comparison to like Fred.
Oh, Fred.
Fred works the ball boy.
Fred. You know what? My favourite thing about Fred is that when Fred shoots on his right foot, it's one of the few times that I genuinely think I could do better than a professional footballer. There's not many times that I think that, but then that is the time when Fred shoots on his right foot. Anyway. So yeah, we've managed to get 20 minutes out of that game, so I think we should pat ourselves on the back. Because now we're going to move on to Everton. But before we do, I should probably say that our podcast today is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, who are the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. They offer precision-engineered tools for your family jewels and are trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Join the movement for all your below-the-waist grooming needs. So, Ashwin, I know you have a Manscaped package. How have you found it? Have you enjoyed using their products?
Yeah, I have enjoyed it. I think my girlfriend has given me good reviews, so I'd like to thank Manscaped for making both of our lives better.
For making you a better man.
A cleaner man, anyway.
Cleaner man, yes. So yeah, you can get 20% off and free shipping when you use the code UnitedHour at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping. They have a variety of things. It's not just razors, it's a lot of other men's grooming tools, and they are really good. Do exactly what you need them to do. And if you're going to use something down there, you might as well use something that was made for it. So go to manscaped.com now and get your stuff. Right, let's move on to Everton. That really was a balls up, if there ever was one. It's I don't know. Do we start with the positive or the negative? I think let's start with the positive, and then we can all go on our rants. Our attack in this game was probably the best our attack has looked in quite a while, I thought. I don't know about you, Nick, but we really should have put this game to bed, and that's just because of our attacking and the amount of chances we created.
Yeah, I mean, that was the really frustrating thing, that we actually played really well for I'd say, 80 minutes, and there was 10 minutes. There were, 7 minutes where they got the 2 goals, and then 1 minute at the end where we didn't, and threw away 2 points over there. Just generally, we were dominating, creating chances, and absolutely worth our 2-0 at half time. And at that point, you just thought, it's a routine win. This maybe we can get another one. And how we found ourselves at 2-2, I don't know. But then to then even do so well to then come back to 3-2, to then finally lob it all away in the last bloody play of the game is just, I don't know, it's ridiculous. You kind of thought we're past that now. It's something that used to happen to us a lot in a few years before, and you kind of got a bit almost used to it, whereas felt that we're beyond that and evolved from doing that kind of thing. But we've done it again, basically. And again, that it's a set piece and all that is just even an extra kicker.
You have to be so negative, Nick. I was trying to be positive. I said, let's start with the positives, and you have to go to the negatives. Honestly,
it's impossible to not be oh my God, that was. I don't think I've ever been more annoyed. I mean, I have definitely, but it was one of the most annoying matches. It was such a deflating feeling after that match. It felt like a loss, right? It felt just terrible. And the thing is that it's I could sit there and analyze it. We could have done this, but it's just De Gea. I don't care about anything else about this match. He was such fucking shit. I am so I feel like I've been trying to give him the benefit of the doubt for a while, but he has been just awful this season, and he's costing us points. He cost us under 2 points right there. I don't remember the last match where I watched and I thought to myself, well, we won points today because of De Gea. And that used to be the entire season, Mourinho's second season, every match I was like, well, we probably won that because of De Gea. And now I never say it. And he's just, and I mean, I think that the first goal that he gives up when he just kind of softly punches it out, and was it Decore that was there?
Yeah.
That was bad. That was really bad. But it's at least that one is it's just a mistake. It's not a choice. I don't even know how to. But the third one, the equalizer at the end, that's just being a coward. That is not being willing to sacrifice yourself potentially and to take a chance with your body to preserve the points. And I think that's pretty unforgivable. At the highest level of team sport, football, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You have to be willing to lay your body on the line at times, especially in a circumstance like that, right? He gets that ball, he covers it, he comes rushing out, clears it out. That's it. That's the match over. We win 3 points. There's nothing that's it. That the entire match is right there in front of him, and he just fucking stands there and doesn't do anything, and they score. I just can't get over it. I've watched it at least 50 times, and every single time I want to punch my screen. It was ridiculous. I personally think he should be dropped. I don't know if Ole will. He probably won't, but I would drop him. I don't think there's anything he does now at this point that I feel Henderson couldn't do, or Henderson flat out. I think Henderson definitely comes off his line there, 100%.
Oh yeah, I think majority of keepers do, unless you're, I don't know, Kepa or whatever. I mean, De Gea, I largely agree. Great servant to the club. Obviously, this doesn't mean that he's been terrible his entire life or whatever. It just means that I think I'm definitely on the boat of it's time to get a new keeper in, time to put him out. I mean, that, like Ashwin said, I think that game largely is on him that we haven't won it. And I think when you put in a performance like that, and when you are the goalkeeper, it's almost anytime we play him now and he costs us a game, it's almost just as much on Ole for sticking with him, because we kind of know what we're going to get at this point. We're not going to get that bravery. We're not going to get him claiming high crosses under pressure. We're not going to get any of that. We're going to get him getting bullied in the box. It's just going to keep happening. So yeah, I'd like to see him come out. And for me, this game, I mean, there's a lot to complain about, but I just think our management of time in the dying minutes was so poor. Like,
no, that was it. Actually, it wasn't just the save he messed up. He has that free kick, doesn't he? With like on the 94 minutes, and just absolutely punts it just
straight down the middle of the pitch
and asking for trouble.
Not even to a corner or anything. But there was another one where he caught the ball from a throw in. It must have been on 91 minutes. I was amazed that he even caught a ball from a throw in. But anyway, every other keeper, they grab it, they lay down, they roll around.
What was that?
Someone picks him up, and then but he tries to set Rashford up on a counter-attack. Now, I guess you can be like, oh, we want to attack, but that's such a difficult ball to play at that time. And Rashford has to do a perfect touch. He is marked. When he kicked it, I thought Rashford must have no one anywhere near him. Like, he must have the whole half or something. But no, there's a man marking him, and it has to be perfect. And he's like, we're just giving them the ball back. We had a throw-in down by their corner, and we just basically give them the ball back straight away. Did we once have the ball in the corner in that game? No. Like, we just constantly gave him the ball back, and it was just not.
There was one. That one was bad. I thought the free kick at the end, he just kicks it right down the middle of the pitch.
Right down the middle of the pitch.
It's fucking absurd. I can't. Oh my god. I haven't played at the highest level I played was high school soccer in America.
By the way, in America is like Division 1, I think. In America, I think that's how it works over there.
Not very good. And even I would know in that situation, not to do that. It's how can you? And what's crazy to me is if it's Wan-Bissaka or if it's Lindelof or if it is McTominay that make a mistake like that, I can understand it because these are players that they weren't ever part of a title-winning team. They didn't play in anything like that, and De Gea is one of the few left. I mean, he's basically the only one left because Phil Jones doesn't count from the last title team. And so, he's played in big, you know what I mean? He's played.
Yeah, he needs to be using the experience, basically. Yeah, he's got that experience.
He has to be better than that. I think if Maguire made that if he did the same thing, he would get slaughtered for it. And deservedly so, because he's an experienced player. You have to see that match out. Seeing out a minute from there, that should be a
easy
walk in the park. It should not even be. I should be able to turn the match off and go take a crap and not worry about the rest of it. And it was just absolutely, but it's just ridiculous. That entire extra time period wasn't insane. And as De Gea was terrible, he had a nice assist from Axel, who decided to continue his recent garbage play.
I feel sorry for that. Was great. He comes on and
do too.
But what I would say about that is a lot of people giving him stick. But if you concede a free kick, 50 yards from goal, that should not be a goal.
Yeah,
you should.
Yeah, I agree.
You should never be conceding.
You say
that.
I would even, as a defender, I'd say, if I'm giving away a free kick near the halfway line, it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. You never see goals. It's very rare you see goals conceded from that kind of position, and it's because they're such easy set pieces to defend. Because you can see the ball travel 40 yards easily. You can cover that. You can sort your line out. You can be very it's such an easy set piece to defend. But unfortunately for us, we decided that Michael Keane, their tallest player, should be marked by I think Luke Shaw, because that makes sense. I guess it comes back to our general set pieces is our downfall. And even in this game today, coming back to the West Ham game, West Ham should have scored in the 92nd minute of the normal time. Was it Dawson had a great chance from a header? And again, the set pieces. Nick, what can be done about this, do you think, Nick? Is there anything being done? Are we just going to put up with the fact that when a set piece happens, we might concede?
Yeah, there has to be something changed because it's just too long now. I mean, last year, it was absolutely ridiculous. And I thought at the start of this season that we'd sorted something out, but it just seems that maybe we got a bit lucky at the start of the season because now it's just happening all the time again. It's obviously a major issue. I don't know who's in charge of our defensive organisation at set pieces, but whoever it is failing at their job. and maybe we need some, fresh look at this. Somebody else needs to be dealing with it. Something needs to change because it's costing us time and time again. And, it's these two matches, isn't it? And it's been Sheffield United, Everton. Both times it kind of comes down to set pieces, and it's where we've kind of fallen away with being in touch with City. The one thing is that City are in such good form that even if we'd had, say, an extra 3 points, we are still behind them. But at least then you're in like touching distance, and you still feel that, maybe by the time we go back and play them, it can be a 6-pointer and we can make a difference. Whereas now we're getting a bit too far away and are now hoping that they drop points for us to get back into it. That's the issue. And it has been, yes, those two matches, Sheffield United, Everton, where, really it should have been at least another 3 points, if not more than that.
Yeah. One more thing on this game as well that really upset me was someone mentioned afterwards that you haven't seen them like us throw away a 2-0 lead like that since the last time we played Everton. It was 4-4, and that Everton 4-4 game is one of my least favourite games of all time. It's a game that I barely like to think about. That was awful.
Oh, that is the worst.
That is the worst.
Yeah,
that is the
zenith
worst.
4-1 up. Now remember, Evra hit the post, didn't he, at 4-1 or something?
No, 4-2.
4-2.
4-2, yeah, okay. 4-2. Evra hits the post, and then
we'd have won the league.
End up drawing.
Oh, awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
That was
day.
The all-time sickener.
It could be worse. It could have been that game, but it was still bad. We should probably not finish this game without talking about that Bruno goal, though, because that was really something else. Just an absolute piece of magic from Bruno. People said Cantona, and it really did remind you of Cantona. Obviously, it wasn't a chip in the way that the Sunderland one was, but it was just the audacity of it, the celebration, just brilliant. Nick, how much did you enjoy that goal?
Yeah, look, it's obviously an outstanding strike. And yeah, actually kind of expected more of these kind of long ranges from Bruno. There hasn't been as many as I thought so far. But yeah, that one was an absolute beauty. I'd say it was nowhere near as good as that Cantona goal, though. Coincidentally, I think just a week or so before, there'd been the question on Twitter, somebody had said, which was your favourite Cantona goal ever, and I posted that one up. And it's just because, that Cantona goal has so much play that comes before it. He does a bit of skill, turns a couple of players, has a 1-2 with McClare before like chipping it in. So yeah, for me, it's nowhere near as good as that. But yeah, it did have the kind of touch off the Cantona-esque of it. But yeah, it was a stunning strike, and that's the thing that just everybody kind of forgets it now because they're all just focusing on throwing those points away.
Yeah, I probably actually won't be able to watch that goal because anytime I watch it, I remember how we threw the game away. Ashwin, do you feel we're in a title race still, or is it over for you?
No, you can't. You're not a serious team if you lose to Sheffield at home and piss away points like we did against Everton. That's fine. I didn't expect us to be in a title race this season. If it had happened, that's wonderful. But I think we should be finishing second. Like if we can just see this out and we're not, like making like we don't have to kind of think of all these scenarios to qualify for Champions League in the last 3-4 match days of the year, that would be great. I think that's a good season, and that should be our goal. I think that we're seeing signs too of that's what made the Everton match so frustrating, right? Nick touched on it too, but for most of that match, I in my head actually at halftime, I was thinking wow, this is just such a good United performance. This is you really felt oh wow, maybe this team is now kind of taking that next step and can be taken seriously. And that's what made it so frustrating to drop it. But I think we're really seeing a lot of good stuff now from kind of our build up and attacking play. I like how aggressive both of our fullbacks have been. Shaw obviously has been fantastic, but even Wan-Bissaka has been getting forward a lot more over the last 3, 4, 5 matches. So seeing that and just kind of, I think our speed in the interplay when we get into the attacking third has been a lot better. Obviously not today. Today was just bad, but I felt it looked sharper overall recently. So I don't know. It's a really, I hope that we can just get back to stringing together some wins. But yeah, I mean the home form. I know it's really weird because there's no fans anywhere. So home away. I mean, Ole always talks about this. It's not really like it shouldn't be. There's not really a difference, but clearly there's some difference because I mean our home form has been. I think what is it? We have the worst goal difference we've ever had since God knows how long. I think like maybe since the 60s or maybe I think it was since we got relegated, right? So when was that?
70s, yeah.
Yeah. So like I mean it's unacceptable. Like if you just look at our home and away, even if we were just okay at home, we would be in a title race. But because we cannot get our home form like I mean it's been terrible, right? Like there's no other way to put it. It's just been awful. And yeah, I mean it's cost us a lot. So that if you know that's probably the one thing we have to figure like between that and set pieces, I feel like those are the two kind of they should be the goals for the rest of the season, figuring out a home form and figuring out how to defend in-swinging crosses from corners.
Well, luckily our next game is away. It's West Brom on Sunday, away to Big Sam's West Brom, who has come in there and really hasn't made much of a difference, to be honest with you. They got that result away against, I want to say, Liverpool. Yeah, they got that result, and they drew. I think they drew against City as well.
Yeah, they did have a couple.
Yeah,
of
but the City one was under the previous manager, but the Big Sam. But really, not much difference, to be honest with you. He's not really gone in and looking like he's doing the Big Sam turnaround. They lost to Spurs in their last game 2-0. Just, I mean, if there's ever, I mean, we said it before the Sheffield United game that, you know, that's a game just 3 points automatic, but this really, to me, does feel like, especially with our away form, this feels like an automatic 3 points to me, and I'll be disappointed if it's anything else. We did kind of labour in our first game against them at home, 1-0 win thanks to a penalty, but Nick, I assume you're looking for a lot more than that this time.
Yeah, look, of course, and I think I saw Big Sam the other day on TV, and he was disappointed himself because I think it's the defensive side that he's not managed to sort out this time, where he usually does. You know, West Brom are never going to be like a free-scoring team or anything like that, but it's the defence that they're falling down on, and yeah, I think he's pretty gutted himself because I think it's going to looking like the first time he's going to lose that never been relegated record. But yeah, it would still be like us, like Sheffield United, to just take that one too complacent. You know, it's exactly the same that after we had a big win in the Cup, that we've then got on paper a very, very easy game after that. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't go that same way. I mean, yeah, the one good thing is that this time we've had more players rested in this Cup game, whereas we went very strong against Liverpool and then kind of rested players against Sheffield United. Whereas this time round, hopefully people are fresh and ready to go.
Well, I don't know about that. I think everyone from our starting 11 on the weekend probably played at least 50 minutes today, thanks to the apart from Cavani. So, but it wasn't a big win in the Cup, is what I would say. I don't think West Ham 1-0 in extra time counts as a big win. So maybe they won't be quite the high of that. Ashwin,
I can't believe I can't believe that we didn't give any credit to Wan-Bissaka's amazing pass for Bruno's goal.
I thought you were which one are you talking about?
His goal
back to Everton.
Everton. He just laid off the ball just perfectly. That's what let Bruno hit the ball so well.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the West Ham game where he spooned one over Dean Henderson. That was bizarre. No, it was a solid assist from Wan-Bissaka. Sorry, he really made that goal. I apologise. No, what do you think? How do you think Sunday's going to go, Ashwin?
Well, we're away, so as long as we concede first, I can't imagine that we'd lose. So yeah, I mean, look, it should be. This is a match that should be straightforward. West Brom have been terrible. It seems like there's a lot of internal strife within their own squad. And not everything. I think there's been some drama there, right, with Pereira, and you know, I think he wants a new contract or something. I don't know.
I'm not following West Brom Times, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think we should. You have to just. This needs to be like a professional performance where
2-3-0 sort of thing.
Yeah. It doesn't need to be Sheffield, but it has to be something where it's, like you said, 2-3-0, and a 2-3-0 that is, it was never in doubt. It was never, there was no period of, are we going to be, just go there, handle your business, and be done with it. It should not be a stressful day. And if it is, that is concerning. But look, I know Pogba's out, and maybe that's a big miss for us, but you have to be able to take care of business against teams like West Brom when, frankly, you need points. So this is the best opportunity you're going to have to get points.
Nick, give me a score.
3-0.
Ashwin?
3-0.
Yeah, why not? 3-0. 3-0. That's exactly what it will be. You've heard it here first. 3-0, the exact score. Put all your money on it. Actually, don't. I'm terrible with these bet predictions. Right. If that's all, I think it's time for another Imran Stupid game.
A wonderful game of football, which Manchester United have won convincingly.
But it was a breathtaking match. Absolutely brilliant.
Shocking. I am disgusted with it.
Right, yes. Welcome to Imran's Stupid Game. We have a new contestant in the building. We have Nick. Welcome down, Nick. Are you excited for this?
I am excited. Although, I was on the original Imran Stupid
No,
Game.
that wasn't stupid. That was a very, very well thought out quiz. How dare you? How dare you call into question Kevin Quisby? That was
the pilot episode.
Yeah, that was a professional quiz. This is just daft. And against him we have Ashwin. Ashwin, you excited for this?
I've never been more excited for anything.
Yeah, good. Well, you're in for a treat today. As you know, I like to rip off Richard Osman, and today is no different. Yes, I'm ripping him off. So, the idea of this game, guys, is that I will ask a question. One of you will buzz in first, whoever that may be, and you will answer with the first word of that answer. The first word only of that answer. Then the other person will finish off that answer. So, for example, if I ask the question, guys, which team has the biggest stadium in South Yorkshire? Nick, you would say?
Leeds United.
No, they're in West Yorkshire. They're in West Yorkshire, Nick. Come on now. I thought
Yorkshire to me, it's all just Yorkshire, yeah.
You would say Sheffield. At which point, Ashwin, you would say
United?
You'd be wrong. It'd be Wednesday. Bloody hell, that went well, didn't it? We're in for a treat now, guys.
I have an excuse. I don't know the geography of England.
Well,
I don't have that excuse. And I don't know it either.
But luckily for you guys, all of these questions are based on Manchester United-ish. They all have something to do with Manchester United.
If you're doing me the geography of Yorkshire, then I'm
No,
struggling.
but it won't be
don't
straight.
Don't cross the Pennines, yeah? We'll only stay that side, Imran.
Hey, come on now. Right. So yeah, if you buzz in, only the first answer. And I'm going to score this a bit differently. So if you get the first part right, you will get 1 point. If you get the second part right, you get 1.5 points. But if you get the first part wrong, the other person gets 2 full points. Because really, you should never be getting the first part of this wrong. Because the first part is very easy on all of them. Does that make sense?
Just about.
It does.
I think so.
I'll keep track of the scoring. I say that, I won't. But, Right. Say your name to buzz in. Question 1. Out of the 2 Manchester clubs, which has conceded the most Premier League goals?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Nick.
You've got to say your name. You both said Buzz.
Nick.
Go on.
I'd say Manchester United.
You've literally just given both words, Nick. 1 word. I needed 1 word.
Manchester.
Thank you. I will give you a point for that, and this is the last time you'll get away with that. Manchester. Ashwin.
United.
Incorrect. It's Manchester City. Well, it
That's
was
surprising.
When I researched this a couple of weeks ago. I really hope it still is the case. Because we did.
I just thought because we've been in that many more seasons than them.
Yeah.
That's why it was meant to trip you up. But it is Manchester City. Yeah. It's very close. I think there was like 5 goals in it when I checked. So we're catching them. So that's 1 point to Nick, nothing to Ashwin. Right. Question 2. Now for this one, just ignore the pronunciation, please. Which player with ties to Madrid has made just under 400 appearances for the club?
Ashwin.
Go on.
Ties to Madrid.
David. Yes, you can see where I'm going with this. Nick.
De Gea.
Incorrect. It's Beckham.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you see. Now you see where the game's going. You see, do you get the idea of this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right,
I like it actually.
Right.
Yeah, go on.
All right, next one. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer scored his 100th goal for United in the opening game of the 2002 and 2003 season against what directionally named side?
Ashwin.
Yeah.
West.
Correct, Ashwin. Well done. West is correct. Now, Nick, where are you going with this one?
All right, 50-50. Let's go for Ham.
Incorrect. It's Bromwich Albion. Well done, Ashwin. Really, really digging it out there. 2-1 to Ashwin. All right. Are you ready for this one? Which Lancashire-born versatile defender has made 302 Premier League appearances? Remember, we're talking United, ex-United here. So, Lancashire-born versatile defender has made 302 Premier League appearances.
All the appearances are at United? Or
No,
just overall?
just Premier League. But I only need a first name first.
Ashwin.
Go on.
Phil.
Phil is correct, Ashwin. Go on, Nick. 302. Who's done it? What Phil?
Jones.
Incorrect. The clue was not for just for United. It's Bardsley. Phil Bardsley. I did say ex-United. Right.
Yeah, I thought Phil Jones has got appearances for Blackburn as well.
Yeah, he's not made that many because, he's been injured all the time. Right.
Yeah, true.
What ex-United player with ties to Newcastle scored 17 goals for the club?
Ashwin.
Go on.
Gabriel?
That's incorrect. How many players are called Gabriel, Ashwin? Come on, there's only one. It was Michael was the one you were looking for.
Yeah.
Because there's two there. It could have been Michael Owen or Michael Carrick, you see. And it was Michael Owen. So Nick gets 2 points, which puts this at 3-3. Right. At youth level, Michael Carrick played in what position?
Nick.
Go on.
Centre.
Centre is correct, Nick. Well done.
Forward.
Correct, Ashwin. Well done. Very good. Very good. 1.5 points to Ashwin. Finally, someone gets the second bat right, and that puts him in the lead. Right, here we go. What African player was born in, sorry about this pronunciation, Douala? What African player was born in Douala?
Nick.
Go on.
Eric.
Eric is correct. Well done. Ashwin?
Jemba?
Jemba is correct. He's pulled it out. Fantastic. Oh, they've got the hang of the game now. They've got the hang of the game.
The thing was, I actually knew that one, but I was waiting for Ashwin to say the first thing so I could say the second. We didn't say anything, so I said, all right, let's just get it out of the way then.
That's smart from Ashwin. Maybe he was doing the same thing, Nick. You never know. Right. What player with over 100 appearances for United and whose first name begins with P has the most international goals?
What, the most international goals of what? Of anybody?
Out of people whose first name begins with P.
Oh, man.
So think of a lot of people. What is the most common name that begins with P, and then you can get yourself a point?
I think Ashwin.
Yeah.
Paul.
Paul is correct, Ashwin. Well done. Someone's finally got what I'm trying to say. So, Nick, which Paul has the most international goals?
Just out of Paul's or out of people?
Out of Paul's. Just out of people called Paul's, because you're finishing this answer. Just out of people called Paul's for United.
All right. I don't think it's right, but Paul Pogba.
It's incorrect. It's Scholes. Paul Scholes is who you were looking for.
Yeah, should have got that.
You should have done right. Which Serbian has the most Premier League appearances?
Ashwin.
Go on.
Nemanja.
Correct. How did you get that? Right. Nick.
And I'm going for...
That's Premier League, by the way. I said Premier League, just to be clear.
Matic.
Correct. Well done. Right. And finally...
Yeah, because Vidic came to us pretty late, didn't he?
He did. And finally, who has the most appearances for Serbia?
Ashwin.
Go on.
Nemanja.
It's incorrect. It's Zoran Tosic. Now, what are you doing? That's incorrect. Zoran Tosic is the answer. Nick gets 2 points. Zoran Tosic has played for Serbia more than either of them.
That's shocking.
Nice.
Maybe this whole quiz was built up just for that. Maybe. Right. So with that at the end, Nick boosted himself up to 8.5. And Ashwin has 8. Nick wins!
Nice.
Well done, Nick. Ashwin, you thought you were big with winning the managers at the end, but no, Zoran Tosic did you again. How do you feel?
Feel like United when they drew Everton.
Yep, it's exactly the same feeling. Exactly the same. Right, that's another edition of Imran's Stupid Game. Over to Roy Keane.
Dreadful. Dumb and Dumber, I'd call them. I thought they were really poor. I thought they were a joke. Really abysmal.
Right, and that'll do for this one. A nice shorter one for you today. As always, hit us up on Twitter, United_hour, on Instagram, United Hour. Get signed up to the Red Cafe and post in our threads. We always appreciate your feedback. And if you can, please leave us a 5-star review on wherever you get your pod. If that's Apple or wherever, you just click 5 stars. Say something nice. Say something not nice. We don't care. Just make sure you do 5 stars. 5 stars, this is shit. We're happy with that. Right. That'll do it for us. We'll be back after the West Brom game, most probably. I don't know who it'll be, but you'll find out then. Until then, say bye, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
And say bye, Ashwin.
Bye, Ashwin.
Thank you.